Namaskar on behalf of the family of Dr. Jivraj Mehta, whom we called Dadaji. Who was Dr. Mehta? It will be hard to do him justice. You know him as the first dean of KEM Hospital, but in a long career, he had also been a physician, administrator, freedom fighter, legislator, diplomat, and a member of parliament, among many other accomplishments. Coming from a modest background in Amreli, Saurashtra, he had earned scholarships for medical studies in Bombay and then London, where he received his MD and FRCS with a gold medal. While there, he also helped form the Indian Students Association. I only knew Dadaji to wear a khadi and perhaps a Nehru jacket and cap, but we have a picture of him from his youthful London days wearing a stylish top hat and tails. Then followed a period of private medical practice. There was an unusual event in 1916 while he was escorting a patient, I believe it was Sir Ratan Tata, to England. Their ship was torpedoed in the Mediterranean Sea, and Dadaji and his party spent a day drifting in lifeboats before they were rescued. The 1920s brought many changes, including, of course, the founding of KEM Hospital. But even more eventful was his marriage in 1924 to Hansa Mehta, the daughter of the Dewan of Baroda state. It was an inter-caste marriage and somewhat scandalous at the time. Hansa Mehta, my Dadima, became well known in her own right, as previous speakers have mentioned. She had the honor of presenting the Indian flag on Independence Day in Parliament on behalf of the women of India, among many other honors and achievements. Over the next years, both my grandparents participated in the independence movement. In 1942, during the Quit India agitation, both were jailed. Dadima was kept in a Class A women's facility in Pune, but Dadaji was detained as a Class C prisoner doing hard labor. At the same time, Gandhiji himself was put under house arrest at the Aga Khan Palace in Pune. When Gandhiji went on a hunger strike, my Dadaji was brought in to him to serve as his physician. When independence came, Dadaji was selected by Sardar Patel to be the last Dewan of Baroda state, following in his father-in-law's footsteps, but with the specific task of convincing the Maharaja of Baroda to quickly accede to the Indian Union. He later became a legislator and administrator in the old Bombay state, holding several positions, including Minister of Prohibition and Industry, very appropriately since he had become an ardent prohibitionist. If you are wondering how Dr. Jivraj Mehta came to have an American grandson, it is because his son, Hashraj, while studying in New York in 1951, was crazy enough to marry an American named Paige Coleman. The new American daughter-in-law also had a KEM connection. She was part of the team that established the physical therapy clinic at KEM in the mid-1950s. At the time, it was the first such clinic in India. And she often talked about how, even then, she would still see notices posted in the halls that were signed by order of Dr. Jivraj Mehta, Dean. These events were all before my time. Dadaji was almost 70 when I was born. My earliest memories of him were from when he became Chief Minister of Gujarat. We went and stayed with him in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister Nehru also visited, and we were taken out to the road to watch him and Dadaji slowly drive by in an open car. As they passed, Dadaji pointed us out to the Prime Minister and presumably said, "Those are my grandsons." So the PM turned and gave us a personal smile and wave. Dadaji's next challenge was as the Indian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Again, we went and stayed with him in London for a few months, during which time my brother and I were put in school. Dadaji would drop us off at school on his way to work, so we arrived in style in the chauffeur-driven High Commissioner's car with the Indian flag proudly flying from the bonnet. In the 1970s, Dadaji re-entered politics and was elected to the Lok Sabha from Amreli. It was a turbulent time, with Indira Gandhi's electoral victory being nullified by the courts, which then triggered the so-called emergency. Dadaji wrote to Mrs. Gandhi about his misgivings over her actions and even went on a fast to underline them. I guess this may have ended his career in politics. He retired in 1977. After I went off to college in the US, I wrote letters to Dadaji and Dadima, and I'm told he read them with pencil in hand, correcting all my grammatical and spelling mistakes. He passed away in 1978 at the age of 91. My grandparents believed in self-sacrifice and excellence. They fought for freedom and the establishment of the modern state of India. Thank you for this opportunity to keep their memories alive in conjunction with the KEM Hospital centenary celebration. Thank you very much.